The Street Artist and the Living Paintings. In a bustling city lived a street artist named Lucas, known for his fantastic paintings. He painted in the alleys, often surrounded by curious onlookers. His works were vibrant, full of colors and emotions, drawing crowds who stopped to admire his art. One evening, as twilight fell, Lucas began painting a massive mural on an old wall. It depicted a lush landscape with a sunset, palm trees, and a serene lake. The colors radiated in the dim light of the street lamps, and Lucas felt more inspired than ever. But that night, something strange happened. As he painted, he noticed that the colors on the canvas seemed to move as if they were alive. He shook his head, attributing it to fatigue. However, the more he painted, the clearer it became. The figures in his painting began to move and interact. The sunset glimmered in vibrant reds, and the lake shimmered like real water. Confused yet fascinated, Lucas was compelled to take a break. Suddenly, he heard a soft whisper from the painting. "Lucas, help us." It was the voice of a young woman from the mural. She wore a white dress that fluttered in the wind. Lucas stepped closer and, to his horror, saw that her eyes were staring at him through the canvas. "What's going on?" he asked, barely able to hide his shock. The woman explained that she and her friends were trapped in this magical world he had created. "We are your creatures, but we are also the spirits of past artists who lived before us. You must free us." Lucas was bewildered, but he felt a strange sense of responsibility. The more he spoke with the living paintings, the more he realized he had the power to influence their world. Yet he had no idea how to set them free. In the following nights, Lucas continued to paint, and the voices grew louder. He started creating images of friends, family, and happy memories, hoping this positive energy would help the trapped souls find their freedom. But every night he completed a painting, the figures grew darker. Eventually, Lucas discovered that the spirits he freed did not only want to return to reality. Some were filled with hatred and bitterness, trapped in the darkness of their past. Lucas painted a picture of a darkness engulfing the city, and as he laid down his brush, he felt the anger of the spirits rise within him. One night, as Lucas gazed at the painting, he felt the darkness closing in around him. Suddenly, the young woman stood in his studio, this time with a terrifying expression on her face. "You wished for our freedom, Lucas, but you also unleashed our wrath." The walls of the room began to tremble, and the colors around him transformed into deep black. The darkness began to consume Lucas's thoughts. Panic overwhelmed him as he sensed the cold breath of the spirits hovering in the air. "What do you want from me? I wanted to help," he screamed, as the shadows closed in on him. The young woman stepped forward, her features sharp and menacing. "You brought us here. You are our creator and our judge." Her voice echoed in a terrifying chorus, as if many spirits were speaking at once. Lucas felt as if reality itself was crumbling around him. "I won't let this darkness defeat me," Lucas whispered determinedly. He grabbed his brushes and began to paint on the canvas, this time with the intent of bringing back the light. He painted a radiant moon and glowing stars that pushed the darkness back. The walls of the room shook as the colors transformed into life, but the darkness wouldn't relent. "This will not be enough," shrieked the young woman as the shadows swirled around Lucas. Lucas painted faster, his hands moving frantically. The darkness clawed at him, trying to seize him, while the living images on the canvas struggled to break free from their prison. "Fight with me! We must defeat this darkness together!" Lucas shouted. The spirits began to gather around the colors he painted. Their energy intertwined with his brush strokes, and gradually the dark shadows transformed into sparkling points of light. The atmosphere changed, and hope returned to the spirits' hearts. "Yes, that's it! Fill the darkness with light! Together we are strong!" the young woman cried, her face beginning to brighten. Lucas's resolve grew stronger, and with every stroke of his brush, the darkness seemed to recede further. Finally, with one last powerful stroke, Lucas painted the image of a great tree shining in the night as if it radiated light from within. The colors exploded on the canvas, and the darkness began to dissipate. A blinding light filled the room, and the shadows screamed as they were pushed into the corners of the walls. "You did it! You set us free!" The spirits cheered, and the room shone with newfound brilliance. The young woman now stood before Lucas in full splendor, her eyes glowing like stars. "You not only freed us, but you freed yourself. You are no longer trapped in the darkness of your own fears." Lucas took a deep breath as the shadows dissolved. He felt light and full of energy. Thank you for giving me the chance to help you. I will never forget this lesson. The spirits began to fade, their faces radiating joy. Remember us, Lucas. Our stories live on in your art. As the last spirit disappeared, Lucas found himself alone in the studio. The room was brightly lit and the darkness had vanished. He gazed at the canvas, which now displayed the radiant image of the tree, embodying hope and the belief in the beauty of life. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to subscribe to this channel, leave a like, and drop a comment.